Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Russell County Chamber meeting today. We have a special guest today, and we're so excited to have Gene here and honor him today for all his wonderful service he's provided for Russell County. Don, would you please come up?
They asked me to say a few words about how I met Gene and how he got to Russell County. And, from time to time, he's reminded me over the years that I'm responsible for getting him to come to Russell County. He doesn't usually do that at celebrations or when we're opening a new factory or a new industrial park. It's usually when his roof is leaking or his flowers have just died or something at that time. But I'll take the credit for it because I'm very proud of what he has done since he's been here. I met him in Frankfort. I was a lobbyist for Fruit of the Loom for 4 years, and when I met him, he was the marketing director for the Department of Agriculture. Prior to that, under Wallace Wilkerson, he was the director of the Economic Development Cabinet, and prior to that, he was in Harrisburg, where he was the head of the industrial, or he worked with the industrial people there for many years and brought a lot of business and industry to that place. But the way he got here is that we had a Chamber of Commerce banquet, as we do each year, and me being the perpetual chairman of that committee, I invited half the people in Frankfort, which never came, and I invited Gene and Roy Massey, and they came. And after the ceremony was over, we took them over to what is now the Oak subdivision, and there was only 2 houses there when we bought that. And I wanted to show him the staircase made of cherry in that big old house, and it's very impressive. And he must have been impressed because a week or 2 later, he called me and made an offer to buy the A-frame at the Oak subdivision. And I was thrilled that he liked the county that much, that he was willing. Actually, at that time, it would have been his second home, and he didn't plan on moving here. It was just a weekend thing for him. But I told everybody in the county that would listen to me that Gene Royalty was coming to Russell County, and if we worked it right, we might get him to do a little work for us down here. And all the industrial authority people, and we were all very excited about that. And so he did move down here after he retired from the state government. He moved down here permanently, and then pretty soon after that, the industrial authority hired him as their executive director. And the rest is history. Those buildings out there at the industrial park wouldn't be here if he hadn't done that. And he did that for us for 12, 14, 15 years. Prior to that, he did it for the state of Kentucky and traveled over the world, bringing industry and business to the state of Kentucky. And prior to that, he did it for Harrisburg, his hometown, where he worked for many years at the industrial authority there. I want to end this on a personal note. I'm proud to be Gene Royalty's friend. Calvin Coolidge in 1916, told the graduating class at Amherst University that a man who builds a factory builds a temple. I don't know if Gene was in that graduating class or not, but he must have been listening because he's somebody that's built many temples in his life. Thank you.
I'd like to invite Judge Gary Robertson up.
First time I met Gene Royalty that I can remember, I guess, was I believe it was September 5th of 1998. We were at Papa John Stadium, the initial first game when UK and U of L were playing, and me and another gentleman had seats, probably the top row. I know it was about 100 degrees. And I walked up there, and a friend of mine, Jimmy McFarland, introduced me to Gene Royalty. They were sitting up there, too, on the top row. And I'm not sure. I think we lasted till halftime, and we bailed out of there. It was hot. It was about 100 plus, wasn't it, Gene, or something? It was pretty hot. The very first game when UK and U of L played at Papa John's. But when you get talking to people in state government in Frankfurt, his name is very well recognized. Everybody knows Gene Royalty. And all across the state, you can say something about your economic development team here in Russell County, and they say, well, that's where Gene Royalty's at. So we appreciate him being here. And on behalf of the Russell County Fiscal Court, we want to present you a little commemorative sign here today, Gene. The business park out at French Valley, I think the city of Russell Springs is in the process. They're going to name that road Royalty Way. Appreciate it.
Thank you. What street is it in? Which one?
It's the second
Now I'd like to invite Sharon Hill.
We just can't say enough good about Gene Royalty. We appreciate him. Gene moved to Russell County in 1999, and he became the executive director of the Russell County Industrial Development Authority. In those early years, he had some other responsibilities in Frankfurt. From 1998 to 2003, he served as the executive director of markets at the Kentucky Department of Agriculture. He came to Russell County as a seasoned advocate of business and industry. Gene was the secretary of the Kentucky Cabinet for Economic Development from 1988 to 1991. He was responsible for export activities for Kentucky agricultural products, as well as providing trading leads to Kentucky companies. He also held positions on various business boards that gave him broad experience. He was a member of the Louisville Airport Board. He also has experience in banking, serving on the board of Mercer County National Bank, and also as vice president of Citizens Fidelity Bank in Harrodsburg. He was a business owner and operated G&H Furniture showrooms in Harrodsburg for 30 years. He also worked for the E.J. O'Brien Tobacco Company in Louisville for 4 years early in his career. Gene was always civic-minded, and he served on the Mercer County Industrial Development Corporation for 27 years. He was a member of the Harrodsburg Board of Education for 12 years. He was also a director of the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce for 4 years. Gene has been honored over the years by receiving the Pioneer Award from the City of Harrodsburg, the Mercer County Citizen of the Year Award from the Rotary Club. He was named Kentucky Industrial Developer of the Year by the Kentucky Industrial Development Council. You can see that Gene has always been active in his community. We're lucky that Gene came to Russell County in 1999, and thanks, Don, for bringing him. When we needed a man of his experience and energy, much has been accomplished at the RCIDA during his tenure. We've managed to locate 6 new industries in Russell County over the last several years. And let me stop here. Torsten, please stand. Torsten Languth with Schneider Industries. Thank you, Torsten. He is the most recent new industry to Russell County. We appreciate it. We're also proud of Superior Battery. Randy, where are you? Oh, he had to leave? Oh, okay. And Stevens Pipe and Steel. Ted, are you the only guy here that needs to say that? These two local industries, they're homegrown industries, and they have done much over the years to employ our citizens here in Russell County, and we appreciate you two just as much as we do the new guys. Gene has provided excellent leadership for the RCIDA for the last 15 years. We appreciate his vision, and we're going to miss him greatly. Let me go on and talk about the Industrial Development Board. The Industrial Development Board, 2 members are from the judge from the Russell County Fiscal Court assigns those, 2 members from Jamestown City, 2 members from Russell Springs City, and these 6 people serve with no pay to be the liaison, to be the person to speak with if someone has an interest in Russell County. The current IDA board, and please stand, Steve Branscombe, Gene Van Smith, Clint Voiles, I'm not certain Clint, oh, hey Clint, good. Bill Magruder, Rodney Johnson, and me, Sharon Hill. I also wanted to recognize some former Industrial Development Board members who have worked in the past. Don Byron, please stand. And Randy Hart was in this list. Jeff Wiles, former Fruit of the Loom. Mike Hill, Ted Eisenbach, please stand. And Larry Miller. So these are former Industrial Development Board members. And on behalf of the Industrial Development Authority, Gene, we want to present you with this picture. It's a picture of all of us. If you need a scarecrow in the garden, you can use this one. It says, in gratitude and with deep appreciation for your faithful and invaluable service, Gene Royalty, Executive Director, Russell County Industrial Development Authority, 1999 to 2014. Well, I think this is Gene's 3rd or 4th retirement. I don't know. He may be doing something else in the future we don't know about, but he just continues to work and work for the good of the area where he lives, and we appreciate it, Gene.
Well, this concludes our official, but everybody stay around and maybe come up and tell Gene how much we all appreciate everything he's done for Russell County. With that being said, we are adjourned. Thank you.